Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to round 6 of this season's SRL TCR League, and it is hotting up to be one of the closest championships across all the divisions so far this season we've seen in a long time. This week sees the addition of the drop week starting to take effect in the championship points, as we see all of the cars going a lovely bit of rallying there. Across the grass. So we head to Zolder for the first time in a while in many leagues. It's going to be interesting to see how people get on here and see what can happen. Just getting ourselves set up for tonight's broadcast. As ever, the professionalism is going to be key. Let's get this up and running for everybody, because important that all the points are there for everybody to see at the end of the night, especially. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. Right then, so you join us here for the tricky Zolder track. It's 10 corners and located in the forests of Ardennes in Belgium. Been also this current circuit 1963. Racing here is dated from the 1950s, so definitely from the classic era. Can tonight's current generation of classic touring car drivers show everyone who is up for the challenge? As we show you tonight's conditions. Grand Prix layout, there is two versions here, the alternate and the Grand Prix, where we'll be using the tighter of the chicanes for this layout. Nice cool conditions again, 20 degrees is the air temperature of 62% humidity. Could get a little bit iffy a bit later on in this race session. If the humidity climbs a bit more, gets a little bit greasy out there. 3.95 kilometers, not a massively undulating circuit, but certainly enough to keep people entertained. A couple of pinch points to certainly watch out for during the races is the Klein chicane, which is a fast left-right nip through on the back section. And of course the final chicane as well, turn 10, which is the Jackie Eichbocht chicane. Tarmauenbocht is also a key point. Very easy to put a lot of people under pressure and make a mistake here. So we've got JB Dejay coming round there. Practice is just drawing to an end in the next few seconds, and before qualifying will get underway for you all. So you watch the delightful Deck Crowther takes the track for his practice as well. Probably just testing out his clutch bike points, what everyone will be doing, and seeing how we go. It looks like we've got 14 drivers taken to the grid tonight. Got a few of names not being able to make the grid. It is the middle of summer holidays in the Europe and UK regions. So it's also one of the lesser driven tracks on iRacing Zolder. So a small condensed field, which means it's going to be small and condensed racing on track, hopefully. It'll be very tight. Hopefully a great show will be put on all round. However, as always, let's show you how the divisions and championships are lining up. In the AMs, we'll start off with Paul Hurley, is still leading the way there with 239 points over Scott Malcolm's 230. Press the wrong button there. There we go. 172 points for Paul Hurley. Scott Malcolm's 164, just 8 points difference between them all. Jack Davies 92 points, Andy Little 49, Nick Scotty 46, Darren Saunders 15, and Chris Barnes 17. And Mark Kelly didn't score any points on his outing on his debut last week. Pro-Ams, this is where it's going to be exceptionally tight. We'll go there, let's just scroll through. Leading the way in the top of the pile at the moment is Cooper Akers on 309 points. being chased down by Craig Walters, 267 points. Dan Lewis is very tight there, 264, and JBJ also in the 260s. That top 4 is going to be tight. And qualifying just flips around in the background. 248 for Neil Stevenson and Miklas Pasek, and 247 and 245 for Kev Aylett. That is a very tight top 7, you might argue. Especially now drop week starting to really come into the equation as everyone starts to come out the pits. Let me just turn my lovely spotter off in the background there. We don't need her telling us what's going on for the pit and exit. Tony Walker 8th, Deck Crowther 184, Stuart Gibbons in 10th, rounding out that. We're just gonna roll down. Oops, wrong button. There's down once. You've got to love it when SCK does that too sometimes. He goes, no, you're not going to do that for me. Here we go. Lewis Delmont 11th, Fraser Elphick 12th, Matt Downs 13th, Luke Jones 14th, Clayton McBuller, who joined us last week, is on a 15th. And then the pros, the big boys up the top. Some might say the big boys anyway. Logan McKinsey topping out at 488. Arthur Fertile 365. John Brown trying to keep pace there with 329. But stretching the lead there to Tom Woodcock, which is nice to see there, at 278. Alan Delmont 258. You haven't seen him with too many rounds this season so far. Sven Winter not on the grid tonight himself at 212. We haven't seen him on Corsi for a few rounds. He's on 199. Now Mole's also not here tonight on 150. We ran up top 10, Jay Cordy and Wayne Douglas. If we can see the teams, there's always in the team competition running through here. SRL Green retain their lead at the top with 595 ahead of the first of just average sim race teams of 557, which is the Vroom team of Coup Breakers, Neil Stevenson. The second team of Tryhards are 523, that's Aylett and Woodcock. Unfertile alone altitude esports driver here is 365, and the two blade design teams of Crowther and Gibbons, after a good outing in the last round, find themselves 5th on 346. Next in green duo of the Delmonts, 331, sorry, with the Pretenders of just Paul Hurley putting most of the points in there on 222. Blue Motorsport of Malcolm and Jones at 213, and then Sven Winter, the low entry of Schwerer Esport of 212. As we see a wonderful slide in the background there. I think of Stuart Gibbons in that green Blades entry there. So, tight old field, some might say. We shall see how it translates. So currently on track, we've got one AM, which is Jack Davies tonight. So he should have the AM win sealed up tonight, as long as he completes the race. Tony Walker, Coup Breakers, Pasek, Tiglachar. We've got a new guy out on track today, Demi Tiglachar. Apologies if I pronounced your name wrong there. It's making his debut in the SRL tonight, and also nice to see in Elantra. We've got Neil Stevenson, Craig Walters, Deck Crowther, JBJ, Daniel Lewis, and Stuart Gibbons taken to the track for what is a packed Pro-Am division. Just the 3 pros out tonight. That is Logan McKinsey and Arthur Fertile taking on their battle at the top of the championship in the pros, with John Brown, who's also the top 3 in the pros as well. So let's join on board with, who's going to do a lap. John Brown is just starting his lap. So let's jump on board with him as he comes forward. We've got the wonderful FOV as I switch between many different sims and cars. And then the first corner to be negotiated by John Brown, which is the canal box after the left hand of Erst. Lucian Bianchi box is the 4th corner here. Key corner to get really on the throttle early and not run too wide and slow yourself down for this run down to the Kleiner chicane. John Brown yet to get a lap on the board that's clean. This is a tricky one. You want to get the leap over the curb in just right. So he's got a lot of entry there, and John Brown decides to enter the wall. Let's go and look at someone that has completed a lap and hopefully gets a fast one in. I think we're looking at Logan McKenzie is close to Arthur Fertile at the moment, I think, but not on track though. A bit of distance between them, so we'll jump on board for Logan and see how the pros do it. Let's get our timing positions all on board. Through you all. There we go. Okay, so we just go around now for Canal Box, turns 2 and 3, into the 4 for Lucian Bianchi Box. Logan McKenzie is currently second on the grid of a 38 flat, which was his last time round. He is just 0.02 of a second behind Arthur Fertile, there, who's on 37.98, and that is Fertile, who you can see up in front on the road. So leap across his chicane is so easy to get off track there. He hasn't. Then he had a big run there down his left-hander, which is Buta, down to Lamon Box. It's tricky right-left chicane. Cut the first one, cut the second one, not too much over, and this tricky right-hander, cut that as well. Throttled too early to run wide and off track. Really gets that right-hander well, which is a big, tricky sequence of corners. Then another fast run down to the right-hander of Boulder Bacard, spelled Box. Tough right-hand hairpin, down to first gear. And up through the gears now as I run all the way up through the Jock and Windbox chicane, which is pretty much a left-right flick. Then into the left hand of Jackie Xbox. The great Jackie. Left-right again, cutting as much as you dare, on the throttle area as much as you want to. Can we see a faster time here? Our Fertile went faster at 37.66. And Logan went quicker to 37.86. That's a good lap from there, from Logan McKenzie. Currently our newcomer, Demi Tignacher, is running in the fastest of the Pro-Ams. Tony Walker and Mikolash Pashek for company. Dan Lewis takes over the lead there at 39.2. We're going to jump on board with Demi and see how he navigates. Welcome him to the league for his opening salvo. Okay, here we go. It's been a while since we've been on board with an Elantra. It's usually DBGJ, but here comes Demi. He comes over the line to start another flying lap. 38.47 was his last one. 38.34 is his fastest. The left-hander reversed is a quicker one. It's quicker than you think it is. Nice cut on the left, nice run out right on the right into the Canal Box. Using as much of the width as possible as you need to do. It's a wonderful sequence of corners, but it's all about gaining that momentum into the right-handers. It's nice to see someone going out in the Elantra. It's not got a very good record in the fixed series at the moment. People think it needs a little bit of work. See how the Elantra takes the Kleiner chicanes, left-right, tricky curb-based flick. Oh, a little bit unstable on the entry there, on the exit side, but managed to keep hold of it nicely down towards Boots, which is a left-hander. Into the Termalon Box. Across the curb. Left and right, nice cuts. The Elantra takes that very solid, very stable through there. Using as much of the circuit as he needs to. It's good running here. And down into the Boulders Box, which I'm going to shorten that one because its full name is ridiculously long. First gear, nice run. This looks like a good lap so far here from Demi. First section was his personal best. Down into Jackie Xbox chicane. Take the first one, cut as much as you dare. Cut as much as you dare on the second one. Looked a bit too much of a cut there. Think he got away with it though. And over the line to complete his lap is a 30. Oh no, it wasn't off track. Yep, didn't quite get it, but it was really good though. 38 would have been quick. So we've seen Demi. Let's jump on board with Jack Davies. We're going to see how Anand would take the circuit shortly. You really compare and contrast the differences. As always with the SRL, it's 15 minutes of quali, 2 races then follow. The first one's 20 minutes, the second being 25 minutes. On board with Jack Davies, our AM tonight, as he hunts down the car in front, which is Craig Walters. Okay, so here we go into the first corner, which is Erst. Again, you want to get this one nice and shimmy across that first left curve, and really nicely done. Don't get too unstable because it can spit you out a bit on the understeery side. Take a late apex here for this first one, which is Sterren Voxbox into Canal Box. A lot of Dutch sounding places actually, but I think this is the Flemish part of Belgium. It's kind of used to many years ago overlap with Holland and Netherlands. So our top 10 at the moment: Arthur Fertel, Logan McKinsey, Tony Walker, Dan Lewis, Demi Tigleshard, Neil Stevenson, Michael Lash, Pashek Cooper Akers, Stuart Gibbons, and Craig Walters. John Brown, the leading third place pro, is down in 11th place on the grid so far. He's having a bit of a match. Davies goes a bit deeper into that first right hand of the chicane. So just compromising the exit for the rest of his section here. And that's where the pace comes from. Round Zolder, just keeping that momentum up. Not getting too deep and locking up corners. Down to first. Nice hairpin there. Getting his foot down towards the end of a lap. His best time so far is a 39.6. Let's see if he can improve on that. He seems to have gained visibly on the car in front and they've come with traffic. A little bit quick and hot into those chicanes left front, but not too bad still. Good lines, safe, and over the line to complete his lap. It's a 40.09, so about 4 tenths off his ultimate pace so far. Okay, so qualifying has got 3 minutes to go. Mr. Fertel is running 1/10 quicker than everyone else. Let me just fiddle around with something on the screen because there's something I forgot to do at the beginning, which is absolutely fine. It's one of those little things. Just gives us a few more options should we want it. We haven't got any drone cams here, unfortunately, this week. It's just not quite the corners. Say the corners. There's not quite the overhead conditions. A lot of trees around the circuit, so no drone cam. But of course, our fabulous roll bar camera does return on top of all the cars as we watch Cooper Akers jump across the Lemon Box chicane on the run down to the Boulders Box hairpin with Stuart Gibbons hunting him down. John Brown has worked his way back up to 4th there, very nicely done. See John Brown there just tucked up behind Stuart Gibbons. I think Cooper's trying to get out of it there. Fancy cameras to play around with. We've got a minute left of quali. I'm just seeing if there's anyone on anything good at the moment. Doesn't look that way. McKinsey is not on track, so he's not going to go fast. Tony Walker's up to 3rd overall. Our Pro-Am Polted with a 38.04, so he's right there on the pace. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out, surely, for everyone else with him that far up. think Cooper's got enough time here to get around this lap and complete it. He's on one in terms of pace. Just pointed down in 7th place in class and 10th on the road. JBJ down there in 12th as well. We look at but Simon Deck Crowther occupying the 14th place. Jack Davies did go faster than him by 8/100ths of a second. So Jack Deck Crowther looking for the last to first challenge. Okay, that ends the end qualifying. Let's see how everyone grids up very shortly, as we just wait for everything to sort themselves out. Alright, let's have a look at the grid for race 1 of the 20-minute sprint race. Alright then, here we go. So on the grid tonight we've got... It's going to screw me over there, isn't it? There we go. Right then, here we go. So race 1 of this Zolder race. Arthur Vertel was on pole with a 37.657 and Logan McKinsey on second, 0.1 behind him. Tony Walker, our leading Pro-Am, is on the 3rd place of the grid overall, and pole for the Pro-Ams. Demi Chingachos just stole ahead of John Brown at the end of qualifying there. In the 4th place, John Brown 5th as our 3rd place Pro, and 5th on track. Dan Lewis 6th place and 3rd place in the Pro-Ams. Stuart Gibbons and Neil Stevenson are occupying the 7th and 8th places on the grid. Mikhail Pashak and Cooper Akers on 9th and 10th. Craig Walters 11th and JB Dichet on 12th. And then rounding out our top 14, Jack Davies and Deck Crowther, as this session gets ready to start. Just make sure we've got all of our bits and bobs all ready for you. All the action ready to go. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to stay on this camera here for the start of the race. To wait for everyone to grid up. There's 2 minutes of gridding up time. Who do we think's going to come out of this hot? I mean, the battle at the front between Arthur and Logan is going to be one of its key battles there. Tony Walker's going to lay down his championship credentials of that strong pole position and see what he can do for everyone else. That'll be his plan anyway. So we are awaiting the full grid to come up. Just waiting for Logan and down Deck Crowther to grid up. I think we've got everything on our screen. We've got the class display up. Let's get that on there. There we go. So you can see the leaders. First of all, Walker and Davies, leaders of their relative classes. Just split the timing tower for you there, so you can see how everyone's looking. Everyone's revving up. Everyone's about to go green. And off we go in a green for race 1. Here is Zolder in the SRL TCR League round 6. And already Arthur's on the offensive there on the inside of McKinsey. McKinsey got a really good start as they come around turn 1. Everyone's clear through cleanly. It looks like a good start there. Around into turns 2 and 3. Cut tires will be cold. Everyone will be on best behaviour. And everyone is through and clean. I don't think Deck took the start. It didn't. That's really wide there from Tony Walker. Oh, we got a car off on the left there. I think that was Cooper Akers. Car 16. No, it was Neil Stevenson. We'll have to check that one out at the end. And Tony Walker and John Brown into the Klein chicane. I was probably side by side there. And then Demi's going to get ready because Dan Lewis around the outside. Everyone's jostling for position as they come down through boot into the Turmalin box chicane. Stuart Gibbons looking just at the back of... Oh, there's a bit of contact from Tony Walker into the back of... that is a green John Brown. Oof. Yep, Tony Walker goes off. I think he's going to give that place back. He was very late on the brakes and he did not save that from an accident. It's definitely one for the post-race review as a 2 wide down. Now into the boulder box hairpin. That is car 13 Pashek against Demi Tignacho, who gets a little bit drifty into their hairpin. He's hunted down now by Craig Walters, who's right behind him. And that is Cooper Akers. Looking interested in the back of Walters. Can he outbrake him down to the final chicane of Jackie Hitchbox chicane? Not quite as they come down. The start-finish line. The start, the second lap of the race. Dan Lewis looking to get past Stuart Gibbons there, who's up to third place, up 4 places from the start of the race. Stunning performance. Neil Stevenson has entered pits. Jack Davies we've lost as well. We'll have to check that one out. I think Neil Stevenson might have just crashed in the pit lane as well. And also John Brown might have just crashed in the pit lane. Not sure looking at the timings on there, but we'll come back and check all that out as we stay on our most fancied drivers here. Almost excited. A bit of a kick off the grass there for JB DJ. Chased down by his... oh, there's a contact on the back straight there. There's JB DJ. Cooper. Oh, dear. Well, that was a big one going into the Kleiner chicane. We're going to have to check that one out after the race. It was huge, to put it simply. Stuart Gibbons leaps across the chicane. Dan Lewis. This is interesting. There's a lot going on here. We'll see a switchback here. We're on board with Miklas Pasek. Looking back at Dan Lewis, who is looking to use some of that Audi power as he goes around the outside of Jackie Hitchbox. Debbie Chigler is also in the hunt. And Dan Lewis looking around the outside. Does he make it stick? He doesn't quite. Demi didn't take advantage of it either as they come round to complete lap 3, so lap 2 into the third lap. Logan McKinsey's now in front by 0.7 seconds over Fertile, and they've gained a 5-second lead already over Stuart Gibbons and this rest of his pack, who we're going to stay on board with because this is a 4-car battle of the Pro-Ams of Gibbons, Pasek, Lewis and Tiglishaw, with Craig Walters just latching onto the back now to create a 5-car run. There's a bit of a further gap there between him to Tony Walker. He's another 5 seconds back. He gave up the places to after his with John Brown on lap 1. There he is. So a lot of contact, a lot of carnage of that first one. Neil Stevenson looks like he's had another incident somewhere as he's gone off a track. We have the camera's not flicking to that, so hopefully he's okay. Pasek has got past Gibbons. We didn't see what happened there. How did that happen? Gibbons running off track. He might have had a slow down possibly. Just looking back, he didn't say he went off track or anything, but I think he did. And yeah, he must have also like he's trying to let Dan Lewis by. Yeah, this will be a slow down for Stuart Gibbons. Young in the lap, but as they come too wide round the hairpin towards the end of a lap. Craig Walters sniffing around the back of Stuart Gibbons now as they come down to Jackie Hitchbox chicane. Can Craig Walters complete the move? Albeit assisted, and Gibbons got a limit slide here. Craig Walters is round. Contact. And Tigler just avoiding all that. Stuart Gibbons giving the place back there to Craig Walters. I suspect there's a little nibble on the right rear there. This is a contact-filled race as we see JB DJ in the background missing an entire front of his car. What is going on? Gibbons goes a little bit wide. We're going to jump back on board here with Walters. Can they stay close there? They're going to go down to the Kleiner chicane. It's left-hander first. It's the Lucian Bianchi box. Right, and it's such a key one. That's a good drive off the corner from Stuart Gibbons. You want to be on the inside for this chicane unless you can last to the late breakers. And he's going to go for it. Oh, what a move for Gibbons and the contact. Push wide, but that's really fair. Really good drive. And there goes Tony Walker. Like an absolute missile on the outside. Waiting for the action up ahead. And took advantage of the overtaking opportunities afforded by Stuart Gibbons and Craig Walters. And Tony Walker was saying, thank you very much, I will take that place for myself and move into 4th in class. Now, the interval at the front. Let's jump to the leaders of McKinsey and Fertile in a second. They're about to complete a lap. They are half a second apart, which is about the distance between their entire season so far. In these two Hyundai Velocers, Arthur Fertel is looking to slip on down the inside. Nope. He's just filling those mirrors. That's exactly what you want to see. Arthur Fertel will be buying his time, waiting for an opportunity to slide one through. You see a barge moving in the background there. Now, I'm say it's all about these two be trying to set each other up and force a mistake from one another. But these two guys have shown this season to be the cream of the Pro Division, racing bumper to bumper all through the season and really fairly as well. The pace is so marginal between them. There's nothing to pick. As we jump back to hopefully the most exciting according to our racing in a short second. There we go. And here's the Walters Walker Gibbons battle. Pasek is slightly checked out a little bit from Dan Lewis and Demi Signature, who has also gained away from them these guys a little bit. Just see him going through to Manabot. Walters will not be enjoying having two Civics filling his mirrors. We're currently on lap 5 of this 20-minute race. 8 minutes has gone. 12 to go. Tony Walker, keen pole sitter of the race start for the Pro-Ams, is down 4 places, down to 7th place on track, so he'll be keen to get himself back up there. Stuart Gibbons, he's down 1 place from where he started. The big mover is Craig Walters, up 5, so he's 4th in class and up 5 on the track in his 666 motor. But the big gain is Mikuláš Pasek. He is up 6 places from where he started, up to the lead of the Pro-Ams and 3rd on the road. So outright podium is in play. John Brown currently languishing towards the back of the field of the runners. He is 12th on track and around, look at the interval, 10 seconds off the pace of Cooper Akers, who is recovering out of his incident with JB Dejay. We will definitely be checking that incident out, as long as it got it for us. Stay on board of Tony Walker and Craig Walters. So the action just seems to have filed down a little bit, but the leaders are ever closer. There's 0.1 between our leaders up at the front. So we just wait. There we go, side by side into the box chicane. Sorry, hairpin. Pushing each other. Arthur will be filling those mirrors of Logan. Nice little weave from Fertel before they get to the braking zone, just to give Logan an impression of how do we want to play this. Let's jump on the roof cam of McKinsey. See how close Fertel is there as they come into Erst. Turn 1. It's literally Erst is first. Between these guys, they've only had 1 incident as well, 1 off track, which is for Arthur at the moment. Logan is clean. Cars over run down towards Lucian Bianchi bots, who can maintain that pace. We've got to stay on board with this roof cam and look back for this one. These guys are close. Especially who can dive at Arthur's. He's put him under pressure. Who got the better run? So Arthur's got a really good run there. Logan taking a nice line there. Who's going to brave us into the chicane? Is Arthur going to pop himself out? He's not. Bounce over the curb. Logan wasn't clean through there, but it's so hard to overtake around this track. You need to be really alongside on the exit of one of the corners to make it work. Arthur's sending it deep. We're right in the bumper. That was very tight. Now, can Arthur go into this last chicane? Are we going to see a send? I think we are. Ooh, a little bit A little bit loose by half of that. That's going to cost a bit on the acceleration. Just that little gap, just a bit more. So Pashek there, just in the distance. He's got a nice healthy gap between him and Lewis. Lewis himself is up 2 places overall. We'll jump back with the rest of the guys. In a short second. We are 12 minutes in, 8 minutes to go this 20-minute race. Back on board with Tony Walker, Gibbons and Walters fight. That's 6th, 7th and 8th. Sorry, 5th, 7th and... oh my god, 5th, 6th and 7th. I'll spit the words out. And true Murray Walker special. Leap over the curbs there of a Klein again. Stu Gibbons is right on the back of Tony Walker here. I don't know if Tony Walker's going to really want Stu Gibbons climbing all over him. The pressure. Didn't quite get the run there. Tony Walker will be keen to hunt down Walters up ahead, who's just gapping himself as Gibbons and Walker were battling a little bit. So we're at top 10 for you now, with Logan McKinsey out at front with Arthur Fertel second, Nicholas Pashek our leading pro-am in third, Dan Lewis in fourth, Demi Chickachong his debut in the SRL is 5th place, third on class, Craig Walters in 6th place, Tony Walker 7th, Stuart Gibbons in 8th, JB DeJay in 9th, Jack Davies in 10th place. Good points for Jack so far. This race just seems to have settled down a touch now. We haven't had the carnage, we see Stu Gibbons just conceding a bit more time there to Tony Walker. As we go, now we have a battle on track between Cooper Akers and Jack Davies. Let's join this one now. Can Cooper Akers get past Jack with a few laps to go? See what Cooper can do. Is there a obvious speed difference between the Pro-Ams and the AMs? John Brown's another 8 seconds behind Cooper, and Jack Davies gives it a lovely drift through turn 1 of Hurst. Cooper Akers looking to take advantage of that. Brown turns 2 and 3 of Canalbot. John Brown out, we're back to Cooper, and he's taking the inside line. Holding on nicely, but Jack is not going to back out of this, but Cooper's got the run, he's got the line, and the turn. Nicely done, Mr. Akers. Back to the Walters. The Walters-Walker fight, the WWE fight. It's no longer a wrestling one, it's just the WWs. Seems any of the close battles on track, but this is the closest battle on track now. Between any two cars, just half a second between them. McKinsey and Fertel's gap has gone to almost 2 seconds now in favour of McKinsey. So that's probably just running his tyres too hard. Gibbons just, I think, ran off track again, or threatened and flirted to keep pace there. Has he been reined in by JB DeJay? I don't think he is, even though DeJay is missing half his car somehow. But I think these guys might be reeling in Demi Chickachar a little bit, actually. That gap looks a little bit closer than it was the last few laps. But can Walker pressure Walters into a mistake? In 4 minutes remaining, which probably works out at about 3 laps of where we are on track at the moment. Zolder's one of those tracks where it's so easy to get a random off track or a slowdown that gets issued to you. Yeah, there is a notable gap there that has come down to Demi. So Is he nursing his tyres a bit? Has he pushed hard early on to get himself brought back close? So this is going to make the podium for the Pro-Ams a little bit interesting with just those 3.5 minutes to go. Is Walters being given an adrenaline push by the charging Walker behind? Can make people drive faster when they got that pressure turned up a notch. See Walker just trying to step out of his mirrors a touch there. Just again showing him that I'm here, mate. I'm not going anywhere. You make a mistake, I am going to take advantage of that. Run around the loop onto the back straight towards a Kleiner box chicane. Walker and Walters really flirting with that dirt. You can do that there, but you can't go too much on it because you're really going to compromise your drive and grip on the exit of that corner. Walker is still holding on tight. We're going to stay with this battle. McKinsey and Fertel down to a second now. So Fertel's eaten away at that time a touch. Before we go and jump back to that battle shortly. So your leaders in Pro is Logan McKinsey. Your leader in the Pro-Ams is Mikuláš Pashek. Your leader in the AMs is Jack Davies. Some good racing going on so far. Stu Gibbons just trying to maintain visual distance here as these guys are trying to reel in Demi Tiglashaw and possibly Dan Lewis, but I don't think that's going to be happening. We will have 2 laps to go, this one and one more to complete this race as we go into the ending of race 1, heat 1 of this round 6 of the SRL League from Zolder. Walker looks like he's got a much tighter line on the back of Walters, which is looking tight. We're going to get a bit of screen time on these boys here. Here comes Walker. Little flipperoo. There we go. Is he going to make the move? No, he's not. Backing out of it. Yeah, it's so hard to overtake into that chicane. Did Walters get a good run through there? Not optimal. Walker is just closing up a touch. You can see it visibly. Which way are you going to go? Left or right? Is he going to go into the braking zone hard? He does not. Bit clumsy from Walters there over across the chicane. He just had to back out of it, touch it down by the throttle. But he managed to gap it. I think enabled Walker to back out of it a touch because Walters was not as optimal through there as he wanted to be. We run round. Yeah, definitely closer to Demi now. Very close. It's down to a second. All it takes is one mistake and all of a sudden you are in shooting range of the cars behind. As we come into the final lap of this race is starting now. Well, the boys have already gone 0.2 of a lap round, which the leaders have. We'll join on to them. They are 1.6 seconds behind. Each other at the front there. So McKinsey looks like he got this race 1 wrapped up. Can Craig Walters hunt down Demi Tiglashaw for the podium of this race 1 Pro-Ams? He's given a gap to Tony Walker. It is less than a second to Demi Tiglashaw now. This is where the race is going to be. This is where the excitement will come. Is that pressure? Is that Elantra too hard on its tyres? Over just a 20-minute race. We'll find out in the next one with 25 minutes on board. And obviously I think we've got a full reverse grid. Or was it? I think we might have a full reverse as next race. I can't remember. There was talk of doing a 10 or 15 place, but it'll probably be a 10 place reverse actually going forward. Right then, let's jump to the lead, to the front. We've lost Arthur Fertel. He went off the track. He's dropped behind Mikuláš Pashek. Oh, we just see that as we come back on there, he came in behind. So unfortunately, Arthur Fertel gave the opportunity away there to get the win, or push for the win. As we watch Logan McKinsey going to come over the line to take the Pro-Am win. Sorry, the Pro win and the overall win of race 1, heat 1 here at Zolder. Job well done, sir. Mr. Logan McKenzie. Now can Miklas Paszek hold off Arthur Fertzel over the line? He is. That's the second place overall. Win for the Pro-Am. So Miklas Paszek, congratulations to you, sir. And Arthur Fertzel coming home second on track. Sorry, for second on pros and third on track. Daniel Lewis comes home in fourth. Greg Walters holds off Demi Chiglicho. He got past. Oh, we missed that one. We're going to have to check that one somewhere. This is what happens when you go watch the leaders. Tony Walker comes home 7th. Stuart Gibbons in 8th. JB Dejay brings home his slightly interesting looking Elantra home in 9th, with Cooper Akers running round the back there in 8th. Jack Davies and John Brown are getting quite close to each other on track in 11th and 12th. There's Jack. Just wait for Cooper to come over the line. Watch every come over the line where possible. Here he is. Jack Davies. And there's John Brown. So they are positioned. Big win. Big points gain for Jack Brown. So Jack Davies. It's a big win for points, actually, as well for himself. Big gains to be had from there for everybody. That is the end of your race for race 1. Whew. Shall we have a look at the results there? For the first race. That's the Heat 1 AM race up for you all. There we go. I know it only shows one car, but fair play to Jack Davies there. He did a great performance on track there to get himself up from to 11th place. That's some big points earned on the day for himself. Let's just show you that on the zone about anything else on there. Show, there we go. So nice performance there, Mr. Davies. In the Pro-Ams, always a hotly contested division. This changed right at the end. We've got so much to look back on there as well. No idea how that happened, but we will look back on that shortly. Craig Walters and Miklas Paszek, you got a convincing win there. 7.5 seconds over Dan Lewis, who came home second. He was 3 seconds ahead of Craig Walters, who snatched it from Timmy Tiglacher. And Tony Walker, who was right behind them all. Stuart Gibbons in 6th, JB Dejay in 7th, with Cooper Akers 8th, Neil Stevenson in 9th, and Dick Crowther in 10th. Neil Stevenson and Dick Crowther will not score points. They did not complete 75% of the race. Our 3 pros. So I pressed the completely wrong button there. Thankfully no one saw it. Is Logan McKenzie by 9.5 seconds over Arthur Fertzel, and John Brown another minute behind, but still on the lead lap to claim the 3rd place podium. Unfortunately, he didn't score a lot of points in comparison to the other 2, but they're still points, they're still valuable, and they're still finishing on track. That was an interesting one all round. So we've got a lot to look back on that first race, so we're going to do that in a few seconds. So bear with me. We're just going to queue up the videotape, as they say, and get the replays up and running. Let's catch you in a second. Alright, so let's take a look at the action from the replay point of view. We'll do, as always, from the choppers. So this is the first one of a lap race, which was Neil Stevenson. Not sure what actually happened here. We just saw someone coming off. Obviously, Stevenson coming across the left. Oh, there's contact there. That gap was getting smaller. That's Jack Davies and Neil Stevenson having their moments there. That's to the barrier, fortunately for Neil Stevenson. We'll watch this battle here between Walker and Brown. This went on for a couple of corners. And we'll see what happened between these two with a chopper cam as it vibrates his way through his contact into the Clarence chicane. Robust defending from Walker with Dan Lewis coming around the outside. It's so easy to watch what the other cars are doing here. Obviously, Walker getting on the brakes. He's lost control on the grass. That's what happened. Left rear on the grass, and off he went. And then he backs out of it very quickly. So yes, that's what happened to him. And then that was Chicken Chart avoiding that. Neil Stevens went on the track again. I think that's just damage. That's I'm going to go back to the track as quick as possible. John Brown had a crash, apparently, coming into pit road. It's running slow, don't think that counts. Got Cooper Akers and JB DJ. This is the one we saw in the background. Let's have a look at it at full speed. Oh, there's contact between the two North American drivers. And that's just a big crash from Cooper Akers. Let's have a look at it again, actually. Well, I'm quite keen to see what happened there. Again from this angle. Oh, a bit of a left movement from JB DJ there. Not sure why. Was it off the grass? Didn't quite see it, but that's it. 1-4. A discussion to be had between the drivers, no doubt. Hopefully no fisticuffs in pit road after. Jack Davies went off track. Let's see what this one was. I think this is just running wide. There will be. Arthur Purcell passing Logan McKenzie for P1. Let's have a look at what happened here. This was towards the end of the race. And Arthur Purcell did lose. But did make it stick, unfortunately. Let's have a look at when off course first to go off track. Oh, big contact off the bumps there as he just misses the barriers. Uses the escape road and you can see Pasek come by. A lot of gravel brought back on track courtesy of Arthur. And Pasek taking advantage here and he can make the move on the outside. That's a great move from Mikuláš Pasek and Arthur Purcell there. He goes, hello pro, you want your place? No thank you today. And one that happened after the checkered flag was Tiglicza and Walters. This was the pressure. And I think Tiglicza may have had a slowdown. It didn't flag up anywhere, but I think a slowdown was issued and he had to back out of it and Walters was just close enough to take advantage of that as they come through the positions there. And that was basically it for the instance from race 1. A couple of big crashes, a couple of talking points, no doubt, between the drivers. I'm sure they've done their talking points. We've done the results of Heat 1. The drivers are currently going through the warm-up for the next race, which is the 25 minutes race. Always a bit more going on there. We've got the reverse grid for everyone to contend with. We will get ourselves over to there very shortly. So enjoy the break. We'll be back in a few seconds to get race 2 underway. See you shortly. Okay, and welcome back to race 2 of this heat. What's that? It's heat. This evening of racing on the SRL TCR League, round 6 from Zolder. We are taking the 40 best drivers here today, putting them against each other to see how they compare. We have a reverse top 10 grid for you all, just to make it interesting and keep everyone on the toes. So our pole sitter for race 2 is Cooper Akers. Make sure we are... Yep. Make sure everything's set up and ready to go. Cooper Akers is our pole sitter for first base of JBDJ, who they had contact with in that first race, in second place. Stuart Gibbons in third, Tony Walker in fourth, Demi Tiglicza in fifth, Craig Walters in sixth, Dan Lewis in seventh, and Arthur Purcell, our first pro, in eighth place. Just scroll you down. And we've got down Mikuláš Pasek in 9th, Logan McKenzie in 10th. And then our finishing position from the first race, Jack Davies in 11th, John Brown in 12th, Neil Stevenson in 13th, and Dec Crowther in 14th. Okay, let's hide the grid for you all. Let's get the class display up. Let's go into full race mode, because why not? For you all. We need that on. Yes. Alright, here we go, people of the internet and the world. Race 2 from Zolder is about to get underway in a short second. As we watch everyone just grid up. The revs are picking up. Here we go. We're going to go green any second. 3, 2, 1, and go, go, go. Cooper Akers leads the grid away. Stu Gibbons with a Honda start, straight off a line, getting a great launch. As the cars rush their way down to turn 1 of Erst. It's a great start from everybody. No one's through, no contact. It looks a nice clean start as they run round into the second turn and third turn of the Canal Bot complex. Everyone holding their place. Craig Walters moving himself up to 5th place there. Your Gibbons just about going off track. Not sure if there's contact there, but we'll have to check that one. He was up near the front of the grid. I think he might have got a bit eager on his throttle as Cooper Akers leads the cars down the back straight. Everyone is still in touch, everyone is still there. Down into the first time through the Klein chicane of his race 2. McKinsey taking the move on Pashek. Dan Lewis trying to make moves with Arthur Fertel and Craig Walters in front. They run down to the Tabalenbocht chicane. Again, the first overtaking spot, and Arthur Fertel going, thank you very much, I'm coming through. And Craig Walters saying, not today, I'm going to fight you on the outside. And they are too wide as they come round that complex of Tabalenbocht. This is the turn 7 section. A 2x2 all the way down. McKinsey is trying to keep pace here with the back of Fertel, trying to go in on the inside of Dan Lewis. And makes it stick. Great bit of driving there. And they're still too wide between Walters and Fertel. Not giving it up. What can happen here? Hopefully nothing too much. McKenzie's very deep on the brakes there in that Hyundai Veloster. And you can see the drive from McKinsey on Craig Walters. And Fertel went as well, so Walters did not get a good run through there. I'll be a little bit disappointed with that. McKinsey and Fertel giving Fertel a little tap on the rear there. It means Walters can come up close again into the turns 2 and 3. So he's get a good run here, late turn in. Get a good drive through, get yourself alongside, ready for that turn on the right hand side. Lewis has got Pasek for company right behind him, and he is right behind him. And here comes Lewis on the outside of Walters. Up to the Klein chicane. Walters says, no thank you, not today. Can he get the run down, the Audi run? There's still close battling between everyone. And John Brown hooking onto the back of his battle now. He's up 3 places. Tony Walker's up 2 into 2nd place with Tony Walker there. JB DJ has dropped a couple of places. Demi Shiglachar also up 2 places to 3rd on the grid. We've got Akers, Walker, Tiglachar and DJ are your top 3 with Walkers and Tiglachar side by side there. Further on, we haven't seen them yet, but as everyone's watching this battle here between our pros, McKinsey. We've lost McKinsey. Where did McKinsey go? Didn't show us that one. Our lovely director. McKinsey has dropped back to 14 seconds behind. Not sure if he had contact. Can't see it anywhere. No, I think that might have been his own doing there for Logan. Can he fight back from that position now? As we look all the way back, we've got Dick Crowder, unfortunately, did take the grid again for race 2. So, unfortunately, no points scored for him tonight. Leaving it up to his counterpart, Stuart Gibbons. The SRL boys running here. John Brown's got a slightly bent bumper, but the cars are in still one long line from our race leader, Cooper Akers. We hear a bit of contact as the cars bounce their way over the curbing. Dan Lewis is filling Craig Walters' mirror up. John Brown got an absolute sterling launch across those Kleiner chicane curbings to close up more on Dan Lewis. So he's trying to make a claim here. He's up to 2nd on track in the Pro Division and up to 8th overall on the drivers. That's sort of 4 places for him. Biggest mover of race 2 so far. Logan McKinsey is in pit road. So not quite sure what's happened to Logan. He's now a lap behind, so he's had damage. So that's going to be a big thing for him. So unfortunately, don't know if he's going to be able to get back out on track. As see Walker offset against the rest of the field just to be defensive. He's lost the place to Fertel. Fertel is now harassing the back of JBDJ. As we see Brown, Lewis and Gibbons. Brown made a good move to get past there. Dick Crowther taking to the exit pit lane. Dick Crowther may be coming out to put some cat amongst the pigeons here. As we see Dan Lewis holding off Stuart Gibbons there. Pasek snuck his way past them all as well. So a lot of racing going on here between Pasek, Gibbons, Brown and Lewis. You see some dirt kicked up. Cooper Akers holding his lead up there against Demi Tiglishaw. Arthur Fertel is hunting them down in third place, but he's also got JB Dejay for company right behind him. And they're all gaining on Dejay, which is Walker, Walters, Brown, Pasek and Lewis and Gibbons. Jack Davies is maintaining his 11th place. Neil Stevenson hasn't quite made some ground up here, actually, surprisingly. But his hard track. Oh, and Lewis got himself short, and that's got to be a slowdown. That was a bold bit of braking, and he's going to have to concede a few places now. Unfortunately, Dan Lewis, and that might put him behind Jack Davies if he's not careful. Be clear of a slowdown, but that was an interesting attack to the Tamanambokt. Chicanes, as we see JB Dejay now. With Tony Walker right behind, Craig Walters just behind him. JB Dejay had a contact in the first race with Cooper Akers. North American rivals. Unfortunately, doesn't quite maintain that gap on track in his second race. And Arthur Fertel has got his hands tied up with Demi Tiglishaw, and knowing what Demi's like in official races and other leagues, he's not an easy person to just drive past. He will race you well and race you fair. Arthur Fertel is looking to go around the outside though, and then made it inside line. He's got his line. There he is, 2x2. Will they make it stick? We could do with the camera being on too, because they are clearly the fastest and closest drivers on track as they race down to the Kleiner chicane. We'll do it ourselves. And our Fertel makes it stick. Two Elantras. Nasty Elantras running well around here. Our Fertel now hunting down Cooper Akers. This is an opportunity for Cooper to show what he's made of at the head of the field. Contender for the Pro-Ams, leading the race over his second race so far. But Arthur Fertel knows with Logan McKenzie's downfall in this second lap of this race, he'll be looking to extend the lead, close the lead, make a gap, all of the above for this. And we see Gibbons getting a little bit loose behind. We still have Dan Lewis to get past. Excuse me. Here's Walker with JB Dejay and Craig Walters. All in a line. John Brown. Already up 5 places in this race. He's not messing around tonight. Cars all run around the first corner of Erst. Show you what the classes look like on the track. You can see that's how they split up overall. So Arthur Fertel and John Brown first and second, Logan McKenzie third. Where's Go McKenzie's not going to be scoring any points here. Then you've got Cooper Akers and Tiglishaw Walker, your top 3 in the Pro-Ams. Jack Davies running there in the lead of his Pro-Am division. JB Dejay currently running nicely here. Making his car nice and big, but also driving very nice consistent lines. We've got Walker really pushing Tiglishaw. These two know each other well from the BSTV league. A lot of drivers do run here and there, many different leagues. As we see TCR going on the defensive against Walker, and Walker go around the outside and makes it stick round the boulder's bucket. Great move from Walker. I'm not so sure if TCR had a slowdown, but Walker will be keen to stretch his legs now and see if he can close up the gap to Arthur Fertile and Cooper Acres. Tony Walker is a contender for the Pro-Ams this season, and the closer he can get to Cooper, the closer he's going to be on track. As we see Arthur Fertile and Cooper having a little bit of weaviness behind him up ahead. A slide from JBDJ that will compromise his exit from turn 1 into 2 and 3. Can Walters do the move on the outside? He slips it round. JBDJ just bounced off the curb a touch there. Doesn't want to compromise any more exit speed, but Walters gets the job done nicely, and John Brown looking to capitalise, but he will meet that brick wall of JBDJ. Gets a little bit loose again on the exit, on the mid corner point, but managed to keep the Honda of John Brown behind as the cars run down. Obviously, cars going bit off and just flirting with the ground. This is another battle between Lewis and Pasek and Gibbons. They're all very tight right here. Audi Power looking to dominate here. Jack Davies is still in 11th place there. Neil Stevenson checking in behind him. Here comes Gibbons round the outside of Pasek. Can he make it move? Not quite. It's a tough overtaking point, that one. You really got to be brave on the outside. Here comes Jack Davies looking to get himself on the inside of Gibbons. This is good racing from these boys up here. Inside line for Jack Davies. Gives the room to Gibbons. Gibbons gets on the throttle nice and early, gives him the exit speed. Now I might compromise Davies with Stevenson right behind. There's Pasek. He's got 2 wide in front of him. Dan Lewis and JBDJ. Not quite going to work out that time. Can they get the drive out of this corner here? Audi Power against the Elantra and being pushed by the Civic of Pasek. We're going 2 wide, gentlemen. 3 wide into turn 1 now. It's the first corner first. What can happen here? 3 wides never seem to work out well. Gibbons coming around the inside. Oh, and Gibbons! Gibbons into Davies, into Stevenson. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Unfortunately, you never like to apportion blame, but I will have to stick that one on Gibbons. As though I look at it as a glance, who was immediately towed back to pits. And unfortunately now it's not going to be there to sign. Here we go. Back to Cooper Acres with Arthur Fertile right behind him. Arthur Fertile has yet to overtake Cooper. These 2 velos at the head of the field are going to be pushing each other as far as they dare. We're going to jump on board. Oh, no, we're not going to jump on board. Yes, we are. Jump on board with Arthur Fertile. There's Cooper Acres and the Just Average Sim Racer Vroom team. 2nd place in their team championship at the moment. There's battling going on. We'll bring Tony Walker into play, and Tony Walker is in play. You ain't gonna lie about that. He is there, and he smells blood. Stuart Gibbons and Jack Davies are on pit road. Expect for repairs. Teams do get a fast repair on track. Now, will we see some sending from Arthur Fertile against Cooper Acres? Just see the difference off throttle between the 2. Fertile gets so much closer mid corner. On the throttle early. We go into the sunset. Little jinx to the right there from Cooper to set himself for the corner. And Tony Walker is breathing down the tailpipe now of Arthur Fertile as they hunt their way down to the Kleiner chicane. Here's the most exciting battle on track with 14 minutes into the race. 10 minutes to go, and here comes Fertile. Round the left side of Cooper. You can see how tight they are. And into the Tamallenbox chicane. Arthur Fertile gets the race lead against Cooper Acres, who now has to battle against his division rival, Tony Walker. Now we'll be smelling some blood. Is Cooper exposed? Is Tigler in the battle? He absolutely is. We've got the first 5 cars, all in the same shot through the Jochen Windbach chicane. 15 minutes almost complete. This is lap 9 in the bag. Fertel leads the cars through with Cooper Akers, with Tony Walker, Demi Tigler, Craig Walters, John Brown, Nicholas Pashek, Dan Lewis, JB DeJay, and Stuart Gibbons heading out our top 10 on track at the moment. Stuart Gibbons is on pit road, so don't expect to be too much closer there. Walker looking to get late on the brakes in that Honda Civic. Now, one of the key features of the Honda Civic, if you are new to TCR racing, on iRacing, is the Honda is very good on the brakes at the last minute. You can really outbrake every other TCR. Whereas some of the Velocity's key strengths is its really good top-end speed and curb handling. The Audi, power. Power and really good torque. The Elantra is that kind of all-round car. It's probably easiest to drive, but maybe not as quick when it's on the same kind of fixed setup as the other cars. But the Honda is probably the quickest all-round car at the moment. Maybe it's track dependent, but that's why we're seeing 2 Velocities at the front of the field at the moment now, because they've been made to use that car to its best of its ability, as Tony Walker is being hunted himself by Demi, is hunting Cooper Akers, who is keeping in touch with Alpha Fertel, who has not run away from this. But Craig Walters is certainly here to raise his claim for a championship contention. Certainly been in the mix in a lot of the races. John Brown, you can just see on his own behind, second place in the pros. He's up 6 places, but a little bit cast aside here, unfortunately, in this race. This weekend has not been the kindest to him on track, but nevertheless, key points to be had from the event. As the cars run themselves down to turn 1, Arthur Fertel leads Cooper Akers, who leads Walker, who leads Tim Tigler, who leads Walters through those first corner into the 2 and 3 of Canal Bocht, and then towards the Lucien Bianchi Bocht. Fast corners on the track, probably the fastest corners on the track, which also means one of the most important to keep the drive and the momentum through. You see the different lines being taken by the 3 types of car there, which is the Civic, the Veloster, and the Hyundai Elantra. Just slightly different turning points, different apexes that they take and run around as the cars run their way through the back section now, through Boots into Lammenbach, which is this right-left chicane. Tricky because it needs to get a slowdown, but you also want to cut as much as you dare. He who dares wins, they say. So we run. Cars just got about a couple of cars between each one at the moment, so no one's really making the moves. With these 25-minute races, it is easy to burn your tyres up and lose the best of them. But as your tyre and your fuel gets lower, you want to make sure you've got enough pace at the end to mount a charge to make that last-minute surge and force the mistakes should they come. As the cars run their way through the final chicane with 7 minutes to go, which is around 4 to 5 laps, I think, is where we're running at the moment. Arthur Fertel is your race leader by 1 second over Cooper Akers, who leads the Pro-Ams, but he is hunted by Walker and Tigler and Walters, also in the Pro-Am division. Cooper Akers flirts with the gravel, as does Craig Walters. That is what we call a speed token in iRacing terms. Don't be afraid to run the car wide if you know you're going to get the pace up. As long as your incidents aren't too high, take advantage of it. As the cars run around, Tigler right up Walters. Can that Elantra put the Civic under pressure? Here comes Tigler looking to make the move on the inside. Never going to happen there. It's a very brave overtake if you do that. And if you do overtake someone there, you're generally going too slow, which brings everyone else back into place. So you're better off waiting for this chicane where you can make more of a concerted move side by side and use not as aggressive curbing, because the curbing of the Klein chicane is ferocious. It will throw your car off into a spin, as we saw with Arthur Fertel in race 1. We've lost Stuart Gibbons We lost him quite a while ago, unfortunately, but I didn't actually see when he crashed. It's first as I look at my timing screen, it's bright red. So unfortunately, we have lost Stuart Gibbons there. We've got 5 minutes to go. Pretty much as they come to the line. Arthur Fertel just stretching his lead out more, but Cooper Akers holding on really well. Nice, good pace as well. About 4/10 off what Walker can do is Cooper's time, but he's driving consistently. It's one thing driving fast. It's certainly another thing to get past that driver. These are your 4 top pro-ams in this race. Cooper Akers, Tony Walker, Demi Tiglichar and Craig Walters. Miklas Paszek, another championship contender, is about 8 seconds further back. He's in a battle. Well, actually, he's 4 seconds ahead of Dan Lewis, who's on his own. So the rest of the runners are all just ticking along on their own. So we're going to stay with this battle. Because this is where the race is going to be decided in terms of points, and the excitement's going to come as Tiglichar gets into the back of Walker under the braking zone. I think he got away with it, though. It looked like he got a bit wobbly under the braking there as the cars slide around onto their front ends. Cooper Akers and his Veloster looking very planted, looking secure. Tony Walker looking also very secure as well. This is the kind of track where if an overtake is going to happen, you need to make it stick. Craig Walters may have a slowdown. Didn't flash up as an off track. I think he might have got away with it. Take a shot right up the back of Walters again. Let's jump on board with Walker. There he is. See Walters, another car back there from Tiglichar as they come into the final chicane. We've got 3.5 minutes to go. That's about 2 laps. Just under. It's going to be tight. We might even get 3 laps out of this. Sorry, Cameron didn't want to move him. They come round. Beautiful sunset here in Zolder, here in Belgium. 3.95 kilometre circuit. Certainly holds up well to touring cars. Walker's got good pace, got good lines. We're going to flip round. And there's Cooper Akers. As they come to the Klein chicane. Cooper Akers will be feeling the pressure. That's a defensive line into the Klein chicane. That's going to slow down the others. Is that going to bring Tiglichar into play with the different line of Walker there? Walters is side by side with Tiglichar. This could be interesting to watch from this angle. There's a contact from Tiglichar into the back of Walker. That's pushed him into Walters, and they're side by side, and they get Tiglichar into the barrier. Oh, that was contact as the race goes on. We'll be keen to see that one on the replay at the end of the lap. Now, there's going to be, that's the classic concertina effect from Cooper Akers taking the defensive braking line into the Kleins, which then meant everyone else had to kind of back off and overspeed, underspeed, and just wasn't matched up. Tiglichar is still running. He's dropped behind John Brown on track. That's promoted Craig Walters to 3rd in the Pro-Ams. Have they got any damage to contend with? But Cooper Akers has one thing, has given himself some lovely breathing room here to the cars behind. It's 1.4 seconds to Tony Walker. Demi Tiglichar is having to box. I suspect he's got damage. That's a meatball fast repair to be used, and he's going to drop himself back to the top 9th place there. Still be on the lead lap as we're sort of running really wide. I think that was possibly John Brown. Getting a little bit eager on the exit of turn 1. That was a fascinating way to see that happen. JBDJ has just stick past Tiglichar as we see everyone running wide in that corner. It's almost rude not to. So I think this race is almost settled down now. Are we going to see the green flag? I don't know. It's touch and go whether this is going to be a checkered flag finish. I don't know. It's a short answer to this one. This car's run through to Mannenbocht, possibly for the last time. The timer is at 24 minutes and 21 seconds of this 25-minute race, depending on when we started the lap. Walker trying to close down to Fertile. Are we going to see the checkered? I'm not sure. I don't think we was going to be tight, but I don't think we are. No, I don't think we are. Nope, this is the white flag lap. So, we had enough time on the box last time, so this is one more lap. Can Walker close up to Cooper? Can Walters keep Walker honest? This top 3 is your Pro-Am battle. Unfortunately, we've got no other close battles on track between them all. So we're just going to see how this one pans out, but I just don't see the gaps being closed up enough. Everyone's pace is so close to each other. We're all doing 38 nines, 38 sixes, 39 flats. There's not much difference between them. Pasek is up to 4th place, and Lewis and DJ. So that's a big couple more points there gained from that incident between Tiglacher and Walters. Arthur Fertile will be keen for not a repeat of bouncing off the curb and having another incident there. Cars running themselves down. To complete our final lap. This is lap 16. Drive is complete. 26 minutes on the clock with a 25-minute race. They've had enough time to sneak that last lap in. The cars run down to this final one. We're going to jump on board with Arthur Fertile as he comes round to complete the lap. Can't see anything else going on here. Here's Arthur Fertile, our race leader. He will win the feature race here at round 6 of this SRL TCR League. Dominant victory in the end from Arthur, as Cooper Akers comes home to win the Pro-Ams and 2nd on the track. Tony Walker in 3rd on track and 2nd in Pro-Ams. And Walters completes the Pro-Am podium with his 4th place and 3rd in class. John Brown 2nd in the Pro-Ams. Pasek comes home 4th in the Pro-Ams and 6th on track. And Dan Lewis, here he comes home in 5th place in Pro-Ams and 7th on the track. JB DJ, car looking in considerably better condition than the last race, will bring us home. Will bring his car home in 8th place and 6th place there for the class. Demi Tiglacher after his contact, which we will take a very good close look at and see what happened there, comes home in 9th place. Alright, who wants to see some replays while the results are verified and qualified? I think we need to. Let's have a look at Stu Gibbons on lap 1. As we will empty the screen of all the information for you all there, because you don't need to see that. Let's go to our lovely chopper cam. This is Gibbons got a really good start. So got himself slidey. Oh, Stuart. He's not had the best of luck in race 2s when he's been starting near the front the last few weeks, unfortunately, and then rejoins a long way down. Logan McKinsey disappeared off track. Unfortunately, disappeared completely off track. So we're just going to find out what happened to Logan, because I can't find Logan. So obviously something happened to Logan, but it's not letting me pick up his instant, which is interesting. So let me just fast forward that for you, because STK failed on me. He did complete a lap. You got halfway through apparently. So we'll watch from the chopper cam. He's up Arthur Fertile's back here. So it's all again racing for position, racing for class win, racing for points, racing for championship. See what happened, but yeah, he just disappeared halfway through the lap. And we don't really know why. Is the short answer to that one? Oh, he had a blinkage. That's a shame. That's a loss of. That is a loss of connections. when he rejoins somewhere else completely. Unfortunately, that's a shame. That's Jack Davies and yep, it's a good move for Jack Davies. It. Really nice move there on Neil Stevenson. Right, JBTJ went off track apparently. Let's have a look at that one. Nice and wide. Not going to get much there, unfortunately. Neil Stevenson having an off track as well. Oh, that's the contact for the first incident, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Let's have a look at it for its entirety. Let's have a look at slow-mo. Stuart Gibbons there, the car on the left. Miklas Paszek on your right. JBJ and Dan Lewis up ahead. Is that gap coming down? Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? It's one of those racing ones where is the gap always getting closer? Paszek now, a car was there. Did Gibbons have the right of way? And there's just contact between Stevenson into Davies. And straight into the back of Gibbons' rear left. And then there's contact between Davies and Stevenson for the second time. It's yeah. There was a lot of things that didn't quite work out. Jachet and Lewis going rally crossing. Oh, brilliant bit of driving from those two. Yeah. Not how you want to do it. That's not the quickest way around the track. Some might say Dick Crowther pressed Stuart Gibbons. That's in pit lanes. That one doesn't really count, unfortunately. So Craig Walters running off track. I think he got himself just a bit off there. That's fine. TCR. This is well. Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna find. Will it show us the whole replay before that? Ooh, this is a tight one to find the right one. So what we might do, which we don't like to do, is just rewind it a touch. Yeah, because there's get our chopper in the right place. So we see braking point taking the shot into Walker, and yeah, it just kind of caused a real accordion of contact there. And I remember seeing it, calling it live. Cooper Akers took a very defensive line to the Kleiner chicanes, which then caused everyone else to like check up before that. And that is kind of not what caused it, because it's racing. And you're allowed to do that. It just caused everyone else to bunch up and cause a real speed disparity between everybody. So yeah. Absolute contact everywhere. Okay, so let's get ourselves into the right bits and bobs for everyone, and we're going to look at the results for you. Fortunately, I haven't got the championship point updates for you tonight. They have not played ball in terms of generating correctly, so we won't be able to show you the live points after today's race, unfortunately. However, we can give you the race results. So let's look at the pros. He's asking, sorry, the AMs stop. Let's show me points. When we do points, I might be right. It might be right, it might be wrong. Ignore the points if I'm wrong. So one part wasn't working correctly for me. So, in your feature race, Jack Davies, did he finish? He finished a long way off the lead lap, so he won't. He didn't get the point. I don't know. I'm not sure how it scored it, so I'm not sure if he actually gets a classification win or not, but he was the leading AM on track. He didn't finish in the pit lane. So that's one thing. In the Pro-Ams, let's have a look at you. Always actually going on here. Yeah, so it's not giving the right points, so let's just hide that. There we go. Your winner of the Pro-Ams was Cooper Akers by 0.6 of a second over Tony Walker. Craig Walters was another second back. He was pushing him very close as well. And Paszek with another 8 seconds further back from Cooper. Overall, they're very tight. But your Akers, Walker, Walters is your top 3 for the Pro-Ams. Dan Lewis comes home 5th, JBDJ in 6th, TCR in 7th, Crowther in 8th, Stuart Gibbons in 9th, and Neil Stevenson in 10th. Crowther, Gibbons, and Stevenson may not be classified points, but that's not for me to decide, as it's based on the number of laps complete. Our Fertile, John Brown, and Logan McKinsey, your top 3. McKinsey, unfortunately, net-coded out. That's why we didn't see the accident or flashed up anywhere. It literally kicked him out of the session for no reason. Probably a packet loss. Really unfortunate to see that happen, because that really does decide races and things like that. Which meant our Fertile came home comfortably a winner in the pros. John Brown taking the 2nd place. On there, John Brown was your biggest mover, along with Arthur Fertile, in that 2nd race, with 7 places made up in that reverse top 10 grid from there. Right. I think we covered everything in that short and sweet race for everything. I've been your host, Kev. So thank you for joining us here on SRL TV for what was round 6 of this event from Zolder. 2 races in the TCRs. It was certainly action-packed, considering there's a smaller field this week. But next week, it moves on to a theatre of speed in the UK, which is Thruxton. That will be a slipstreaming, tense battle. It's going to be like watching chess on ice. Especially at Thruxton, depending on what the track temperature is going to be like. So that's next week. So hopefully you can join us there for what will be your action on SRL TV. But tonight you'll be watching the round 6 of the TCR League from Zolder, here exclusively the best Friday night TCR League on iRacing on SRL TV. Thank you and goodbye.